What about the Ghanaian uncle? Momo make sure. I've been there if I look if I tune the one get them banza they regret that. Once you do not regret for what you said, you don't even apologize to say sorry. You are even wanted to explain yourself. It's only fool who doesn't know I'm sorry. Or do you have mental problem? You don't have mental problem. So intentionally did what you are doing. And are you the only pastor? Where have you reached with your pastorship? Where do you are? Where have you reached?
Have you ever seen this video before? Have you ever seen it?
Good evening, everyone. This is Thursday, August 13, 2026. Ordinarily, I am not supposed to make this video because it doesn't concern about insecurity in Nigeria that I am always focusing. But because this is something that is holistic in West Africa, though it is a global problem, but it is holistic in West Africa, happening in every country right now. The other day, I was praising the reactions of the Ghanaians about the issue of Islamization, on how they were, rejecting so many things that are coming from this angle. But there is something that is trending on the Ghanaian internet space. And this is a big problem for West Africa. The earlier people wake up, the better for everyone. Listen, nobody will teach you about Islamization. I wish there is a course that people can study Islamization. I don't think if people study Islamization that what is going on now will happen. People need to study Islamization. Now, what happened in Ghana is that an apostle is a pastor, okay, was arrested for insulting Prophet Muhammad. Now, the people that assume jurisdiction to arrest this man are the Ghanaian police service. So, I started asking questions, like which part of the law, Ghanaian law that this man violated, that he was talking, they said some things he said is against Islam. So they arrested him. Definitely, it was a petition from some imams. So they got him arrested. Then Ghanaian police or Ghana police arresting this man is not the problem at all. Because police can arrest anyone. Then they will do investigation, and after everything, they can leave the person. So I do not see any problem that the Ghana police arrested this apostle. But immediately the imam received the news that the apostle have been arrested by the Ghanaian police, that they want to question him and leave him, the imam stormed Ghana police station that this man was kept. Guess what? He went there, he assaulted the man, and he slapped the man. Now, kudos to the Ghana police who took action and arrested the imam. So as I speak to you now, the imam is in the custody. I don't know whether they have released the pastor they arrested, but the imam now is in custody. Why am I saying this? The audacity of these people, the way they are moving, I want to see. It started like this very long time ago in Nigeria before we get to this level we are right now. So if Ghanaians are thinking that this is just normal something, no, Ghana is too small. Ghana is too small. They will just take over Ghana within 2 years. They will take over Ghana. Ghana is too small. The reason why it is difficult, despite all their mercenaries in the world are in Nigeria. The whole terrorist organizations are in Nigeria. Why they still find it difficult to conquer Nigeria is that we have many nations in Nigeria. Like this one you are seeing, Ivory Coast, Cameroon, Ghana. Combine the whole country together, that is what you have in Nigeria. The middle belt of Nigeria, some of the northerners, the west, the east, the south, they are all totally different people. Different value system, different cultures, and different religious beliefs. That is why it is difficult for them in Nigeria. Despite the money and the machineries they have put into it, killing people, doing everything, people are still resisting them. But Ghana or the Ghanaians cannot put up the defense that the Nigerians have put. So the video you are watching now is the imam insulting a pastor, an apostle. Something is going on in Ghana. So, as I said before, another thing that got me interested is this, because I follow the Ghana Police Service on Facebook, okay? I follow them. Now, this is what the Ghana Police Service posted. This is when I discovered that these people have infiltrated the Ghana Police Service. These people must have infiltrated it, and I'm going to tell you the reason why. They paraded the wrong person. according to the video they posted. Look at Ghana police posted this. Police arrest suspect in viral video assaulting a suspect. The Ghana Police Service has arrested suspect Sibame Zakaria, who was captured in a viral video assaulting a suspect. Okay. The suspect is in custody, assisting the investigation, and will be put before the court. Okay. So for coming to assault somebody, he will be put before the court. Meanwhile, the Police Professional Standards Bureau is investigating the circumstances surrounding the incident, and all persons found culpable will be taken through the necessary disciplinary process. You know why? Like I said before, Ghanaian police have been infiltrated. How could police allow a man to invade their protocols and come and snap somebody that is in custody? Normally, police is not even supposed to arrest that man. It's a civil something. You take him to court. He will come and answer in court, right? But you arrested the person because police have all these Sharia advocates have infiltrated the Ghanaian police. After arresting the man through their connection, you still come to police station to snap the man, and a policeman was videoing them. Ghana police have been infiltrated, and Ghanaians are going to pay heavily for this. So many things are going to go wrong. Your Minister of Interior, you know whom he is. Yeah. See, money will be flowing into Ghana from Saudi Arabia, from all these countries, like the way it is flowing into Europe right now. Why would they be sending money to do all those things? They send money to do conversion of people into Islam. I was watching former Iranian foreign minister, not this man you are seeing now. There is one video that went viral at that time, if you remember, where the man was complaining that in Japan, they sent $10 million to Japan. They give people to convert Japanese into Islam. Guess what? They were able to convert only one person after sending $10 million. And guess who they converted? They converted someone who came from Africa to work in Japan. That was when they gave up and they said, no, we can't continue to spend this money for Islamization in Japan. So these people could be sending money. Remember that is the mission of ISWAP, the Islamic State for West African Province. Ghanaians should take time. Take time before it is too late. Because we in Nigeria, we understand when and where this rain started beating us. This insecurity, this religious intolerance. In Nigeria, they kill people. You understand? They kill students just by saying, oh, you say something against Prophet Muhammad, they will kill you, and Nigerian court can't help you. Nigerian judges can't help you. Nobody will help you. Nigerian constitution is useless where there is Sharia. Totally useless. They kill so many people, including the famous Deborah Samuel, that was born live. And the people who born her were celebrating. Don't let it get to the level we have in Nigeria. In Nigeria, even last Sunday, someone was just going to church and he was captured by these people. They mock him, they pour spit on him, and they shot him dead. After shooting him dead, they called him infidel, and they went to one side and they started drinking that Arab tea they call shai. Started celebrating the death of that young man. Police did not arrest any of them in Nigeria. That is the level we are at this moment in Nigeria. Don't let it to get to this level because Ghana is too small. I know what I'm talking about. Ghana is too small, and you people don't have military leadership that can come out to say something. Everybody is afraid of noise election. That is the danger of democracy in Africa. Unlike what happened in Burkina Faso, where their president Ibrahim Traore said boldly, hey, if you people that are planning to bring Sharia to Burkina Faso, better be careful. You travel to Saudi Arabia to study Sharia. Don't come back. We don't need it. What are you coming back to do? No job for you. Are you coming to Islamize us? He was not missing words. And that stirred up the anger of some folks who are in this camp, saying that, especially in Nigeria, there is one Imam called Sheikh Ahmed Gumi. He said, Traore, you are too young to challenge Sharia. Traore is not challenging Sharia. He is the president. He is responsible for anything that is going on right now in Burkina Faso. So he is protecting his people. He gave the youth AK-47, the guns. People have guns to protect themselves. He knows what the country is going through. So he knows what causes the problem. And this is where I always try to emphasize, because if you don't know where the problem started, or where the problem begins. There is no need trying to proffer solution. Traore understood that all this insecurity in Burkina Faso is all about religion. So he just hit the nail at the head. But in a country like Nigeria, almost the whole influencers are trying to be politically correct. Hey, you don't have to be politically correct because Sharia, Islamization is politics. That is where politics mixed with religion. It is a politics of conquering, dominion, conquering, taking over. You have to study Islamization. See, in Lebanon, I was reading a book. Maybe I'm going to do a video specially for it. I'm reading a book where I saw how Christians were eradicated in Lebanon, and I shed tears. I came across where Palestinian, they call them militant in that book, right? Palestinian militant, where they stormed a city. They killed 583 people just once. And they said that is a holocaust for Prophet Muhammad. They were killing people. They accepted them as refugees. Oh, you people are suffering in your country, facing persecution. Oh, yeah, come. They finished them. And they took over Lebanon. And they are now the majority, right? Everybody have to be very, very careful. The next world war is not what you are seeing between Russia and Ukraine. The next world war is not about China and the United States of America. The next world war, it is going to be a religious war. Mark it down. In the United States of America, you see what is going on. These people are pushing. They are pushing. They are pushing. So many things that are going on in US now. Like if I see it, I'll be scared. I say, is this United States of America? They are pushing. In so many European countries, they are pushing. But, it will end in war. Yeah. Because the way they are pushing, they will push to a certain limit and people will say, hey, no need. Let's go to war. They are going to fight it out. But, you see, these people have been keeping their militants like Boko Haram, ISIS, SWAP, Hezbollah, Hamas, Wundo, Nakurawa, Al-Qaeda. All these people are their soldiers. They are their soldiers that they are keeping down, nurturing them to do jihad in the future. The earlier you realize what is going on in this crazy world, the better for you.